What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we always start this show by being transparent. Yesterday, I went 2-2, so lost a little bit there. The best bet for the show, easy winner, over 175. They get to 200. So hopefully you guys did take that one. Vino, I know you gave out another winner as best bet as well. How was your day yesterday, and how you doing today?
Doing good, Skee. That was my play for the day yesterday. So we went 1-0 with the Liberty team total over. So if you had, combined the two of us yesterday, you get a 2-0 here on the show. Liberty 105 points against the Sparks defense. I just real quick, Skee, to show how bad that Sparks defense is. I mean, I went back. I haven't seen this all season long. Every single starter in the Liberty lineup shot 50% or better from the field. Every starter. It just doesn't happen. And the Liberty got 105 points without having one single fast break opportunity. They scored 0 fast break points and still got to 105. That's how bad the Sparks defense is. But, boy, their offense is good. They almost pulled it off 105-97. But it cashed tickets for both of us.
Let's see if we could do it here again. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Kyle Wright tapping in. Jeffrey B. Let's get to it. 4 games on the slate. Like we always do, we go in rotation order. That means 6-17, 6-18, Chicago, and Connecticut. Connecticut opened up as a 1.5 point favorite. It's since gone up to 3.5 pretty much across the board. Total open 157.5, and it's as high as 160, depending where you shop. Injury report, I don't see anybody on there for Connecticut. All of a sudden, okay, here we go. Ariel Atkins and HVL are probable. Thought they were going to be questionable. And Reese remains out. Both of these teams, I think, are coming off really bad losses, if I'm not mistaken. I know Chicago hasn't played in a few days. Yeah, Chicago lost by 22 to Indiana. Connecticut put up 57 points, lost by 17 to Golden State. So both off really, really bad losses. Like I mentioned, Chicago does have the rest advantage here. I believe 3 days compared to 1. And for Connecticut, first game home after a 4-game road trip. So we'll see if it's a little bit of a flat spot. They are expected to have Tina back out there. I think that's why they were doing a lot of struggling in their last game. But Vino, this total continues to go up, right? This Sky team hasn't hit 80 points in at least 4 games. I know that. And with Golden State coming off a game where they barely touched 60, I mean, the thought process. We look for them to come to a little bit more towards the norm. Both defenses are bad. I think the total is going in the right direction, heading up. What do you think?
I think so, too. And I just can't bring myself as of yet to get there, but I probably will. I looked at the Connecticut team total by itself. I think it was 81.5 Skee. And if the game's going to get over, maybe they have to get to 82 in this particular contest. The long road trip and now the first game home after the road trip, always an issue. But for the Connecticut Sun, it's like night and day. You play the Golden State defense, and now you get to come home and play the Sky defense. You mentioned they're both bad. I'll just give you last 10 game numbers. Chicago Sky allowing over 86 per game. Connecticut giving up over 84 per game. That's 170 right there between the two defenses. They can't stop anybody. This quote from Rachel Banham also kind of pushed me in the direction of the over. After the last game, she said, we didn't play with any pace. We didn't play aggressive. We played right into their zone. They're talking about the Indiana Fever, of which against who they only scored 70 points. So to me, it sounds like Chicago wants to speed up. They had been playing fairly quick. They just don't have enough. Like we said, their backcourt is so bad. And it's another point I wanted to make here where Connecticut is concerned. I think we talked yesterday in the discussion about the Sparks game, how bad that Chicago defense and especially the backcourt is. The Connecticut starting 3 guards, they kind of play a 3-guard offense. I'll consider Mabry, who starts at the 3 as a swing, as a guard. But the 3 guards, Hartley, Lakin, and Mabry, they shot 4 for 26 last game, 15%. They shot 1 for 16 from 3. it probably doesn't happen against the Sky. Um, I'll go back and reference your point to, the Sky probably pick it up a little bit offensively. I think Connecticut does too. Not a lot of defense on the other side of the floor on the perimeter. So to me, it adds up to an over. 160 asking these two offense. When you think about it from an offensive perspective, you say to yourself, well, these two offenses, maybe I don't want to get involved in, 80 a piece. But the defenses have to play too. And these offenses certainly, I think, can attack both defenses. So for me, it would be a look towards the over.
All right, we're pretty much in agreement there. Mark likes the Sun on the money line. Looks like he got in a little bit early. Good job on that. Let's move it on over to the next game, Rob Veno. Valkyries and Mystics. Mystics open as a 1.5-point favorite. I mean, it's between pick 'em or -1 for them still. Honestly, it depends where you shop. The line is all over the place. We'll call it a pick 'em right now. Total open 150.5, down as low as 148.5. And let's just refresh this just to make sure for the injury report. So Shakira Austin is game time decision for tonight for Washington. And then on the Golden State side, you have Kate Martin, game time. They'll be without Mo Billings and Maria C. Shakira, I mean, if they didn't win that last game, I would say the Mystics got to be tanking. I mean, you trade away Brittany Sykes, then Shakira is out the game. Like, I don't know, man. But they did come away with the win last time. I feel like they don't have much to play for. Like, I don't think they really think they're going to make the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? And the Valkyries are really fighting for it. So if I think like that, I mean, it's a one-way ticket to look towards the Valkyries. However, they are at a rest disadvantage. It is a chance for the Mystics to get some revenge, too. I think they lost both meetings to this team. 1-point game, I think, in both, too. And however, it is the first game home after a 4-game road trip for Washington. So this one's, I mean, just because they need to win, Veno, doesn't mean they will win. How are you viewing this one?
Yeah, it's so funny that you led off that analysis with Washington could be tanking, because I was going to ask you, do they really care? And they did win that last game. And is that more a product of Dallas just being Dallas in the second half? I mean, Washington was behind 11 at halftime, and then Dallas totally fell apart. Golden State's not going to fall apart defensively. We know that they've allowed less than 60 in their last 2 games. They may not be able to score it real well, but boy, they can shut you down. And when you start looking up and down the Washington roster or the rotation, if in fact Shakira Austin doesn't play, aside from the starting forwards, you find it very difficult to find players that can score on that team. Washington backcourt-wise is really limited with their scoring. Alicia Clark brought over, I guess, to produce some meaningful minutes and kind of be more of a mentor at her age than anything else. And J.C. Sheldon certainly shows some fire on the defensive end. But I don't know that Washington matches up. As to the playoff race that you said, Washington 2 games behind Golden State, so a win here would cut it to 1. But again, it just seems to me that after watching the last 2 Golden State games, and I get it, they were at home. Golden State's a way different team at home. Very, very good in that college atmosphere. But they look like a team that wants to make the playoffs to me. They play real hard for 40 minutes. And if this gets into a absolute half-court slugfest, which Golden State would love it to be, I think they've got more potential. One thing is for sure, they'll launch more threes, and they don't always make them, but maybe volume produces enough that go in to get them the win. I will say real quickly that Stephanie Dolson stepping in as a starting center the other game, she did shoot it as well as she shot it all season long. She's kind of disappeared from existence on this team this year after leading the W in 3-point shooting percentage last year. But the situation pointed me towards Washington, but the reality of who's going to be on the floor kind of points me to Golden State.
One thing, I mean, we know Golden State first half has been good all season. Mark says he's going right back to the well with the first half. Mystics have been slow out the gate post All-Star. They've only been ahead 1 game out of 6. So could be something to get in and get out. I mean, I hear the coach talk all the time about for Golden State that they need to throw the first punch. I'm not mad at that first half. Look, shout out to my guy U Capper in the building. Remind everybody hit the like button. Appreciate that. Not sure what that last comment is even talking about. No clue. All right, we'll go to the next game. Liberty and Aces. Looks like so that's 621, 622. Opened up Aces -2. They're up to about 2.5 or three. A lot of threes out there. Total open 170, and it's as high as 172.5. Who will be available or who's not available? Stewie, Sabali, and Harrison for New York. And we never know. You could get more people throughout the day because they are on the second of a back-to-back. For the Aces, I only see Cheyenne Parker Tyus, who has not been playing all season long. So, Vino, we have, like I said, the Liberty on a back-to-back here. The Aces come in well rested. They've had 2 days off to prepare for this game. And the Aces, they made a little bit of a push. Currently fifth in the standings when they were just not long ago. I feel like they were almost, if not outside of the playoff race. So now up to fifth, playing a little bit better lately. I mean, situationally, it favors Vegas. They still need wins. I know Liberty want to keep the dream at bay because they're right on their tail. But do you think that back-to-back is just a little bit too much to overcome in this one?
It could be, Skee. And I think a lot of situationals point toward Las Vegas here. The back-to-back for one, the need for victories too. We talked about New York's need for victories as well. They played themselves into that point. It's funny looking at the Aces in the fifth spot, Skee, because it's more a product of Seattle and Indiana playing themselves down the standings. Seattle's lost 5 in a row, straight down to the 8th spot. Indiana hasn't played well, straight down. And now Las Vegas with a 3-2 record in their last 5. If you stretch it out to last 5, it's not overly impressive, 3-2. And the wins, to tell you the truth, aren't overly impressive. They crushed Golden State in what was a horrible scheduling spot for Golden State. They beat Connecticut by 8. They did beat Seattle by 4 here in a close game. But the other 2 losses weren't good, absolutely destroyed by Minnesota, etc. So it's hard. It's really hard to tell still for me which Las Vegas we're going to get. I will say this. There's no way New York shoots the basketball the way they shot it last night. That's just, you're playing Los Angeles and you make shots and you score points against Los Angeles. I went through the numbers. All 5 starters, 50% or better. Las Vegas isn't a great defense, but they won't give up points in bushels like that. I had an inclination to play under 172, thinking this game might take on a little bit of a playoff atmosphere and New York might be a little fatigued, or at least they wouldn't play as good offensively. For Las Vegas, 3 players are taking all the shots lately. If you just go through their box scores and their game logs, the last 3 games, Jackie Young, Asia Wilson, Jewel Lloyd. They're really the only 3 players who shoot the basketball anymore. And what is Kirsten Bell even doing on the floor nowadays? And it's funny because it's almost as if Becky thinks that I got to bring Jewel Lloyd off the bench because ever since I did it, she's played better. I don't know when she's going to get or if she's going to get back into the starting lineup, but certainly Bell doesn't deserve to be out there as the starter. 88 minutes played in her last 6 games. 88 minutes. She scored 15 points, got 11 rebounds. She's shooting 18.6% from the floor, 13% from 3. So this is just I don't know if it was a confidence builder for Jewel Lloyd. I did read a report where she had a little bit of a leg injury and maybe she's better now. Las Vegas is still, to me, they're still a little bit above average. When Asia Wilson is on fire, they're going to win games, but I don't know that I trust the rest of the team. That being said, again, the situation is not good for New York, and they won't shoot the way they did last night. So the closest I came to a play in this game was under 172. I just think that number is a bit too high here.
Man, maybe just bet Asia Wilson PRA like Kyle Wright over there in the chat. You kept reminding us that the Liberty also have the Lynx on deck. And with that in mind, I mean, they don't play them for a couple more days. They don't play them till the 16th. And you mentioned how well the Liberty shot in their last game yesterday. They were coming off of that loss versus the Lynx, right? And all I kept hearing was how pissed they were about that. And that's why we got the performance we saw yesterday. Do we think that stops just after one game? I mean, They know the Dream are right behind them. They know they play the Lynx again coming up. I don't know.
I
I
hear you.
understand
I hear
everybody
you.
running to the window because the Aces have the rest advantage, but these Aces this season, Rob Veno, they've been inconsistent. I know they've been playing well lately, but it would fit their MO to just come out there and get smoked today. Like that would be fitting of the Aces of 2025. I like the way Misamin has been playing lately. It looks like she's getting more comfortable over there. I think the Liberty are still motivated, and I think they're the better team right now. So, I, you know what? I want to get in there with the Liberty. The more I think about it, everybody in the chat, everybody likes the Aces, huh? Double revenge. Liberty's legs are tired. Nobody wants. Nobody wants the Liberty. UCapper says last time Liberty scored 100, they failed to cover against the Mystics, and Mystics went up and over their team total in that game. Nobody wants the Liberty, Ravino. Liberty without Stewie or trash, says Slick Vic. That B Man knows. B Man knows. I don't know, Vino. I might be pushing that button before the day's over. I want to try to find reasons to back the Liberty. That's what I'm thinking about right now. Looks so easy to go and take the Aces right now. I don't think you know how I always say, Rob. You know, I've seen this
That's
before.
right. I've seen this one before. And I'm with you. New York is the better team. The problem with betting New York is we have all these situationals against us, right? Back to back. Vegas needs a win, blah, blah, blah. But we did point out yesterday, and you just pointed it out again, that the Liberty have to create space for that number 2 seed as well. They don't want to fall to 3. They win last night. It looks like they were motivated. If they're motivated, I'm looking at the minutes that they all played here last night, Skee. 4 of the 5 starters between 31 and 32 minutes. Phoebish, 26, almost 27 minutes. But those weren't really taxing minutes. Those were freelance scoring minutes. So I don't know. I could definitely see them mindset-wise, focus-wise, going into the locker room after that game and saying we have one more to go. I really could see the head coach telling them we one more win here, and then we'll go on to Minnesota. So I'm in the same dilemma you're at. I would love to bet New York. Situational scream Las Vegas. I don't trust Las Vegas. I thought maybe under 172 might be the best route, but I'm still not there with that either.
I could understand. I mean, I do think the Liberty are going to come and play defense. I don't necessarily trust the Aces side, but
The Becky press conference if they don't.
Oh, it'll be beautiful. It'll be one of my faves again. Let's see. Anything else in the chat on this game? Let's see. Mark says our guy GLB Bets likes the Aces in the third quarter. So maybe Liberty come out and throw that first punch off a back to back. And the Aces respond. It's kind of how he's looking at it. Don't think I see anything else here, but I'll put this on the screen because I was just looking at it while we talk.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we all know the situation, right? You can see this? No, you can't see it. Here we go. Now you can see.
Yep.
And I got to get back to my, which one is it? I have so many tabs open. All right, there we go. So home favorites with more than 1 day rest versus unrested opponents. We know 51 and 14 straight up, 78.5%. ATS 57.1%. Says to run to the window and back the Aces, right? But I'm just gonna play with it a little bit really quick. What if they lost their last matchup? I mean, it's still 21 and 5 straight up, 13, 11, and 2 ATS. What if they're a worse team? Win percentage less than opponents' win percentage. 10 and 3 straight up, 6 and 7 ATS. The average line was minus 4.1. That's interesting. Interesting. I mean, there's reasons to back them. But if my memory serves me correct, this season, it hasn't really mattered. Rest equals 0 this season. Let's see how these teams do. They're 14 and 9. It hasn't mattered that they're unrested. 14 and 9 straight up, 15 and 8 against the spread. I don't know, Vino. I might be there by the end of the day. That's all I'm gonna say on this one. All right, we'll move it over to the last game, and that looks like Dream and Storm. This one opened up -1.5 for Atlanta. We have seen a flip of favorites. It's now -2.5 for Seattle. Total open 159.5, and I see it as high as 161. Injury report, you have Jordan Canada out for this game, and then you have Ryan Howard listed as probable. For Seattle, I don't see anybody on the injury report. Yeah, that last game, Rob Veno, it was kind of ugly. I mean, not Ryan Howard, Jordan Canada went down twice. Like she went down once and was kind of grabbing at her, like the back of her right leg. And then like a few minutes later, she went down again and had to be carried off the court. So that sucks for them. It looks like she might be out for, like, she couldn't barely put weight on it. They carried her off. She might be out for a little bit of time. But the Dream, I mean, they played some games without her. I believe they played 8. The Storm and the Dream, the other side of that Liberty, right? They're the team right behind the Liberty in the standings. I believe like a half a game behind them, or maybe one game at the most. The Storm, they've been in a free fall. They've lost at least 5 games in a row. They're barely clinging on to a playoff spot right now. If the Sparks would have won last night, they would be looking out. I mean, outside looking in from the playoffs. They're desperate for a win, Rob. They've been in these games lately, very, very close, but just unable to get over the hump. Do you think that playing this one at home versus maybe a shorthanded Dream team, do you think they can get it done this time around?
Well, let's start from the Dream side real quickly. They obviously watched New York win last night. New York moves a half a game ahead of them for that number 2. And the number 2 spot is extremely important, right? 1 and 2 are going to see a lot of home floor advantage. You fall to 3, you don't get as much. So it's important. Atlanta knows that New York's on a back-to-back tonight in Las Vegas. If they should lose, Atlanta wins. Atlanta's right back in the 2 spot. So it's important for both teams here. It's extremely important for Seattle as well. We pointed it out, 16 and 16. They've fallen all the way down to number 8. If they lose, they're tied with LA again for the final wild card spot, or the final playoff spot. So importance in the game is the same on both sides. If Atlanta had Jordan Canada in this game, I would have played this one much stronger than I did. It was the first play I made, and that was Atlanta team total over 79.5. You talked about it. They've played without starters, including Jordan Canada, quite a bit this season. No Jordan Canada to start the year. Pow comes in and plays starting point guard, plays really well. Ryan Howard out for a while. Brittany Griner out for a while. And all Atlanta does is win and score. They didn't score in their last game. And again, you hear me say it all the time. I'm pretty significant bounce back player when a team is a really good offense like Atlanta is, and they have a down day, the 74-66 victory. They won the game. They just didn't play offense. I think that they're going to score here against Seattle. If they had Canada, I probably wouldn't have gotten 79.5, but I would have felt even better about it. I think they'll score on Seattle. I think Seattle now with Brittany Sykes, she scores 27 the other night. Seattle's becoming a little more offensive minded, a little less defensive minded. That was the case last game. It's been the case in like 2 of the last 3 games, really, where Seattle's defense is just given way to the offensive side. So for me, it's a team total on Atlanta. That's the bet I made. I would not argue anybody from playing the full game over, to tell you the truth. I think Seattle's got Malonga has come along to be quite the offensive player for them as well in the paint. So I could see a full game over here, but I preferred to take the Atlanta team total. I just thought that number was low. Asking the Dream to get to 80, no matter who's in their starting lineup, doesn't seem to be that difficult this season.
I'm in agreement with you on that. Specifically on the road without Canada, they've played 5 games, and all of them have gone over. All of them, the Dream have scored 88 points or more. Matter of fact, they faced the Storm in one of those games, and they beat the Storm 94-87. So the Dream are more than capable of scoring without Canada, although it sucks that she's not in there. I agree with you on that. But I think you did right by not including Seattle. Maybe you talked about Malonga. I mean, she has been good. Seattle, all they want to do is force the ball inside, and I'm just not the surest that they're gonna have success. I mean, this has been like we know. I mean, if you just look at personnel, the Dream have bigs. They can protect the paint. You're not gonna just bully them and go to the rim all game. I I don't see the Storm as very much of a 3-point shooting team, and the Dream they're very willing to let it fly from deep. Um, so for that reason, that makes me hesitate on the Storm side. But I do agree the Dream should be able to get to 79, 80 points here in this matchup. Any B man says only 79 and a half. I'm in. Yeah. Say no more. I'm in, he says. All right. I think we got through everything. We did it pretty fast. Oh no, misspoke. We took us 26 minutes to get through 4 games. But I think we did a pretty good job. So now we'll move it over to best bets and no graphics today. I will mention that you can get a 7-day all access pass for $69, I believe, right now. So that is discounted if you want to be involved for a week of service. And Veno, I'll pass it to you. I'll ask you if there's anything else you would like to promote. And if you have a best bet for the show, we'd love to hear it. If not, all good.
Yeah, and just to tack onto that, Skee, if you were looking for a longer all access package, I think they're $299. But now that NFL is in swing, college football is going to be in swing, 30 days is going to encompass a lot of sports. So you're getting a lot more for your payment now as we head into what is the busiest time of year as far as sports betting action is concerned. So all access packages up and available on each of our pages. Our links are down below. You can see Skee's got the production angle covered today. The scroll is rolling right through. And I'll say one last time, or one more time, if you are looking for an odds service, go ahead over to Wager Talk today. Pick up a 7-day free trial to oddslogic.com. You'll be on top of everything, injuries, weather, the number changes. Again, there's like 30 different shops where you can get numbers from. So if you're that intent on playing these games every day and you want to be on top of the information battle, then Odds Logic, the place for you. Once again, over to wagertalk.com. Best bet, Skee. Let's get right to it because it's the one bet I made. It's the one I like the best. Like I said, if Jordan Canada were involved, I would have probably, I mean, what would we be looking at? 81 and a half, 82 and a half. I still would have been over, and I probably would have been over that number even stronger. But I do think Atlanta has played through adversity as well as anybody this season, and I think they've really exceeded a lot of expectations preseason. To ask them to get to 80 points with their lineup and their firepower coming off a game where they didn't shoot well, that's my kind of play. So that's my best bet for today. The Atlanta Dream team total up and over 79 and a half.
I like it. And, we did give them when we usually team up, we usually do pretty well, but we'll give them a little something different for today. Before I give my best bet, though, want to let everybody know that I do have a 5% best bet up and available for today. Last one was a winner. Don't really have them that often. The last one was recent, but before that, it's been over a month and a half. But play presented itself today. It had a 26-0 angle, and I like it. I'm rocking with it. So 5% best bet up and available on my page at Wager Talk. Best bet for the show. I'll read you this little bit of what I wrote, and I said it earlier, but I took the Sky and Sun over 158. Best number you can get right now. You can actually get a 158 and a half at a couple shops. And I'll read this little bit right here. So dating back to 2014, road teams that have failed to clear 80 points in 4 straight games are 10-3. That's 76.9% to the over when facing an opponent that scores 60 or less in their previous game. So like I said, we're looking for positive regression on both sides there. Chicago's had 3 days off, gives them more than enough time to work on their offense, and both teams bottom 3 in defensive rating this season. So seems like a recipe for points for me. That will be my best bet for the show. Chicago, Connecticut over 158 for myself. Veno, think we did a pretty good job here. I always enjoy breaking down the games with you. Thank you for taking the time to do so. Everybody in the chat, we appreciate you watching and sharing your insight. Everybody who, even if you're not in the YouTube chat, you might be on YouTube Shorts, you might be on Twitch, X, Kick, Spotify, Apple. I don't know why the people in this chat always laugh at Kick for whatever reason, but we appreciate the people on Kick too. We'll be back again, not tomorrow. It's a rare Thursday with no games. So looks like we'll be back on Friday where we have a loaded 5-game slate. So best of luck on all of your action, and we will catch you all then.